No, you're right, I got a lot of Christmas shit. I did.
Oh, we yeah, so okay, okay, everyone will rise, we'll start the meeting. Pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. I did, thank you. But I confirm. Trustee Metzner. Present. Deputy Mayor Younger. Present. Deputy Travis. Oh. Present. Trustee Pentop. Present. And I am present. Trustee Luis Rivera is absent. Take notice. We start the meeting with approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve minutes of February 23rd, 2026? Motion. Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. It's motion. It's YouTube page delayed. I turned that off so we don't have that. No one needs to hear me speak twice. It's terrible. Okay. We'll go to petitioners and correspondence. To the agenda tonight, we have Rita Vanacore. Rita, are you here tonight? Let's see if Rita. Reps is here. Anyone else here to speak for Rita or on behalf of Rita? We can just wait and see if she comes in the next number of minutes.
I was asked to be here with her.
Okay, so then we'll when she comes, we'll allow her to speak. John, you were here to speak to the board tonight. Would you like to come up? Did you just state your name?
My name is John Glagola. I'm here on behalf of the Ellenville Repair Cafe. I wrote a little bit of a thing. I'd like to read it if that's okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Glagola. I'm here on behalf of the Ellenville Repair Cafe. I'd like to take a minute to talk about it. At this past event, which we held here in Village Hall on Saturday, we had 50 people come through the door. It was neighbors, volunteers, repair coaches, curious community members, all gathered to share one purpose: to help each other, to reduce waste, and to bring new life to lost items. Together, we helped 26 people repair things that mattered to them. A hat for a gardener, a subwoofer for a DJ, a lamp for an artist, a watch for a grandfather, and socks for children. Thanks to the dedication of the skilled 19 repair coaches, we were able to successfully fix over 48 items. But the Repair Cafe is more about than just fixing things. It's about connection, learning, and community commitment. This time, we also had the We the People photography project with us. They photographed attendees with the American flag, capturing portraits that celebrated the people who make up our community. It was a powerful reminder that events like this are really about neighbors helping neighbors. So I want to thank you to the board, to the 19 repair coaches who volunteered, and to everyone who brought items and participated. The Ellenville Repair Cafe continues to grow, and that growth is because of you. And we are promoting sustainability throughout the community thank you for allowing us to be here. Please help us spread the word for next time. It'll be here in Village Hall on June 6th from noon to 4. And that's all I got. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you guys letting us be here and having it be here. I look forward to having it.
Nice job.
Thanks so much.
Can I just ask one question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it safe to say, well, we can look forward to like a quarterly repair cafe or it's as available?
Yes, it'll be quarterly. The next one is on June 6th. After that, it's the next 3 months after that.
Okay.
And then it's, I think, September, and then I think it's September, we're skipping October, and then November. So we'll have one in September, one in November. I didn't do December or January because it's a bit of darkness and no one comes outside.
Understood.
Alright, cool, thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
John, as
absolutely.
Michelle pointed out, it was as if no one was here. And
Great.
so thank you for being a steward of the space and being unnoticeable, if you will. And
Thanks.
So thank you.
It's the Boy Scout way. Leave it better than you found.
We have a few things we need fixed too, by the way.
You wanna, the rule is, if you can carry it in, we'll
Or
try.
here already, we don't have to carry it.
Well, it sounds like I was doing it.
Yeah.
John, I went to Bush Belt Museum and I had 2 people
Yeah.
that came into the museum from the repair cafe. And they just raved about it. They didn't go into detail. One, I think, got some sewing done and the other. But they said they can't wait to come back and bring more stuff in the next.
That's so wonderful. I can't wait to help more people. Please help us get the word out so we can tell as many people as possible. I'd really like to help at least 40 people next time. And I'd like to help at least those 40 people with at least 2 items. So if you guys can help us find an additional 14 people, that would be great. And we appreciate all your help. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of the day.
If there's anyone else here to see the board tonight, that's not on the agenda. Feel free to come up and speak.
Well,
And
I got 4 of them because I can't come on business.
if you could just state your full name.
Kim Candela. Okay.
So I'm just here to speak on something that may seem silly to some. I'll try to make it short and to the point. First and foremost, I want to be clear that I fully support the new league and the women that created it, as I played with them over the last few years in previously well-established women's league. I'm excited for the addition to the field of having co-ed nights. However, the pre-existing Tuesday nights women's league has been going on for over 4 years. It's been a successful league, which we all have been a part of. And I don't really understand why the village has made a decision to take it away from the people who have built it and ran it successfully over at least the last 4 years. I, as well as others, feel the village's decision has caused unnecessary conflict and burden between people because of the way it was handled. We don't think it was fair to have been decided without any knowledge or involvement of all the people that have contributed and have been playing not only on the field or on the league, but on that field for years. I think the village should reconsider its decision to grant Tuesdays to the new league, as it has already been the women's night and doesn't seem to make sense or fair to take it away from the original creators.
What I would say is there were representatives from both leagues who came in to talk to the village manager to come up with some kind of use solution. It is a public park, have to divvy up that use. Required to do so by New York State municipal law. If there is potentially a disagreement on use that continues to exist, I would recommend going to your league representatives, discussing. Maybe there's a further discussion that can be had between the 2 leagues. But ultimately, it's a negotiated use of the field between whoever may have come to that.
Hi, Libby Cox. I just want to say we did have a meeting. Most parties were there. Us and the representatives from the other league were there. I'm sorry, and the youth committee were not there. But we left that meeting with an additional scheduled meeting for March 12th.
Okay.
And then we got a letter on the 25th saying that it was granted. So that was kind of where the confusion came. How that decision was made prior to the other meeting, and we said we didn't need another meeting.
I would say, again, if there's further concern, I will reach out. And hopefully you can find the amicable solution to all of this.
Thank you.
If there's anyone else here to see the board tonight? Okay. Managers report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's see here. Well, on the important items that the village is facing in front of it, we have the tentative budget due to the village board by March 20th. So you'll be seeing that very soon, and we are working forward. I know we had to reschedule some union negotiations. We saw an email on that today, so those will be rescheduled shortly. In addition, tomorrow, myself and Trustee Ken Top will be down at our wastewater treatment plant with Superintendent Ryman. And we'll be going over things there and seeing what some of the next steps are for the future there. We have been working diligently on a lot of opportunities for the village in different areas, trying to find sources of funds and preparing for hopefully the CFA, the consolidated funding applications that'll be coming out. We anticipate probably in the next, I'd say 30 to 60 days, the state will be making the announcement of when those will be happening again and where we might fit into those buckets, looking at resources for our water department, obviously our wastewater treatment department, and obviously opportunities potentially for our youth and recreation. So been busy, staying busy, digging in, and obviously seeing where we can help out. On the topic that was just brought up, just so the Board of Trustees is aware, myself and the village clerk did meet with the representatives from both organizations. There was an understanding of assignment of days. There was anticipated to be a second meeting. However, discussions had already then started on Facebook about not committing to one league or another. And we felt it was necessary so that all parties knew the dates were confirmed. Both leagues agreed to what dates were going to be set for each league. And what we also did say was that if the leagues were not formed, the leagues did not have sufficient capacity, that the date would be given back up to the prior league. It appears that that's not the case at this point. It doesn't seem to be the case yet. The new league is working on finding teams for itself, and hopefully they can exist successfully. I know they've also offered opportunity for the teams from the original Tuesday night league to play with them, to come in and interleague play and league. So hopefully we can have recreation for everyone here in the village of Ellenville. There also was a meeting with the town's recreation to fit into the schedule, the flag football, and that's been done. So everyone hopefully soon will be out there enjoying the warmth, and we will have the snow off the ground, and we will be enjoying that together. So that's where we're at this. And again, as the mayor said, if there is a question, the leagues can reach out. And if they want to have a follow-up, we can definitely have a follow-up. So thank you, Mayor.
Who is the other league?
They are actually, some of the representatives are here.
What are they?
Village United Soul.
So can I just, I would strongly recommend both leagues prepare sufficiently and request a follow-up meeting, because it seemed like there was clarity leaving the previous meeting. And now there has been so much room for gray areas that it almost feels like an attempt to stall progress for both leagues. So I would strongly recommend both leagues request the follow-up that the manager has offered, and come prepared with very specific requests so that you can start negotiating from there, as opposed to negotiating from a place of loss. Am I clear?
We're ready to start our league. We have our teams, so we're just ready for the season, so we will not be requesting any clarity. We were given the days from what I understood, and we're ready. We're just ready to start the season.
Would you?
Hi, Megan Michelle. I'm speaking on behalf of the previous league that was there on Tuesday evenings. I just want to ask a simple question as to, I respect wholeheartedly giving everybody the opportunity. It's part of the game. It's fun. It's community building. I'm not putting anything against that league, but I do have the questions of, I don't understand why this new established league has to push out a established league that was well received on a Tuesday when there's 6 other days of the week. So I'm having trouble and difficulty with that. I've worked very closely with Dorothy Cox along with the other board members that are present, and they give back to the community. I've had several opportunities to do tournaments with them. Cancer tournaments for fundraising purposes and other for various opportunities, and it's just very disheartening when there has been a community that is built there. And I just feel like it's unfair and it wasn't right of how this was all originated. And if the rosters have been submitted for the new established league, I just want to ask, why can't we try to see a different day and not push the Tuesday league out when it's already been established?
So to that question, can I ask for clarity on this contended date? How did that play out?
Sure, so there are 7 days in the week that were options. There was one day in which there was no leagues, that was Sunday. The ladies that are here requested that day, that was given to them. There was no objection to that day. Friday was a day in which there was a league that had been failing and didn't have a lot of players. The league was offering up that day as an option. The ladies took that for a co-ed league. And then there was a discussion about Tuesday night. The ladies asked for Tuesday night because apparently 2 at the time of the teams were going to be leaving that league. There apparently were 6 teams in that league. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, there were 6 teams in that league. At least 2 of them were leaving because they're teams that belong to the ladies that are part of the new league. And then they represented that there may be additional teams that would leave. But if not, they represented they would have 2 additional teams of their own that they would be bringing into their new league. So it sounded as if they were going to replace on Tuesday night what was already in existence.
And what were the objections from the men's and women's league?
The existing league objected to any other night because those had typically been men's nights, and they have significantly large rosters on those nights, and they play full games and full schedules, like with countless numbers of teams. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure Dot, you could answer. The number of teams on the men's leagues are significantly higher than women's, correct?
We range anywhere from 24 to 28. But the problem is, we are a business and a league as a whole.
I thought you were a non-for-profit, I'm sorry.
We're an LTD. We're a 403, not a 501.
Okay,
But the league as a whole, that was going to affect the league regardless from a business standpoint. Now, when we need to make up or do any things those other nights, we don't have that option anymore. Tuesdays was built there for a reason, because the surrounding areas, the men usually played other places on those nights. So when I built women's, it was put there for that reason.
that was not expressed during our meeting, though.
So
Well, I
that's what
didn't really
I'm-
get a chance. You already had your.
I am struggling with if. And I need to put this to rest. I apologize, but I'm struggling with if there was clarity and there was advocacy. This doesn't sound like taking so much as the men's and women's league gave. This does not sound taking as much as your partners did not advocate for you.
Because, I was there.
It was
The
Dot
fact
and
that
Debbie.
losing the other 2 nights, or 1 night really, the Friday, we have no room to move the men that are in abundance. And so the women playing on Tuesday nights and the surrounding areas, leagues that happen on those other nights, that's why it's always been Tuesday. So it was kind of easy for them to come in with the existing and just say, we want to take it over. We're a league as a whole though. The women is just a division under our league.
So-
And both leagues play against each other on Tuesday night?
They were in the league, but I'm just saying they wanted to leave, but rather than just leave, they said, we're gonna take over.
And both established women's leagues play against each other on Tuesday night?
That was offered by the new league, trustee Kentel.
Huh?
That was offered by the new
You mean
league.
like interleague? That's a
Interleague.
conversation we can have, that was never brought up.
That was offered by the new league in the meeting.
But, sorry,
The
and am I-
existing teams is what they thought, because they said. It was very clear that because people wanna play and it's still on Tuesdays, they thought they were gonna take the teams that were already there.
I just have a clarity question.
Sure.
Recognizing what you just mentioned, how two teams were gonna leave that league, that left the league with 4 teams, which would have been easier for us find 2 more teams to make up 6 than have to then start over and make up another 4. So I don't understand where that disconnect was, where it was just like, we're gonna just give this new league an opportunity to find 4 new teams to make a league, when whether.
Because with all due respect, the village has to look at the equity of the entire community, and even though the league exists now, the league had 6 nights a week that it was operating our field. And if the community members come and ask for the field, we have to give them an opportunity as well. And it can't be just relegated to one night. If they come in and say, we would like to run this and we would like this opportunity, we have to allow them that opportunity. And there were 2 representatives from your league here, including Ms. Cox and including Ms. Bradford, that sat here and agreed to give up Tuesday nights. No one told them they had to. We asked them, because the other nights were not viable options because of the large size of the men's league.
Did you ask the question of why
We weren't
they,
handing over anything. What happened and how that second meeting came about is, we said, we are existing already and we have deadlines, we have insurance, we have things. These are things that just roll over into the next year usually. So this is the first time it's had to come up, so we said, we can't just sit around and wait to see if they get enough or whatever. That's where March 12th came from.
Correct, and we said
So
to you
we
that
didn't
if they
give up
did not
anything.
have,
We said, okay,
and we said to you, if they did not have a viable league, consideration would be given to more leagues, and the date would be considered to be given back to you.
right.
They have come
Later, we get the letter.
did you request the rosters? How many teams do they have to make up the league since they're established, as they stated?
They have come back to us and said that they have sufficient teams.
Do you have their rosters?
I haven't asked for their rosters. They have not completed their signups yet.
So that's kind of not fair, because that's kind of hearsay, because how is that credible if you don't have
This isn't-
rosters in your hand?
How is it not credible?
If you don't have rosters to establish the 6
Numbers.
leagues, the 6 teams of the league, I can tell you that I have 10 teams, and if I don't have anything to hand you, you're going off word of mouth.
So what I would say is, right, ultimately, the field is not being used on the days that were scheduled. We will reassess. That is the expectation, and that is the position of the village, is that we wanna see the fields used.
Right.
Unfortunately, it is parkland, and it is a field in parkland, and we are guided by municipal law on these things, and I understand the frustration. I know this is a longer term league, and maybe a women's league specifically that's existed for a long time. But those metrics don't matter in the fair use of parkland. It is always a complicated matter, it will always be a complicated matter. Different municipalities handle it in different ways. Town of New Windsor charges a per game fee, whether it's during the day or at night, $50 to $85. I don't think we're trying to get to a draconian place to create that kind of fairness, but this is unfortunately, the metrics that we have to use. Someone wants to use it and we want them to use it and we want to see them use it as we do with you. And hopefully everybody's successful. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Just before we move on, is anyone else here to see the board? Okay. Dan or Chief, okay.
Just hanging up.
Yep, building department, Dan, we have the municipal search fees, unpaid request. I know you have provided some information to the village manager and myself, that other municipalities have since increased their fee as the time to take on that has certainly increased over time. So is there a recommendation to the board to change those municipal fees?
Did you want it was the 175 or 150 plus the
You wrote the
35?
memo, right?
Yeah,
Mayor, as a former code enforcement officer myself, who has done these municipal searches, they can at times be burdensome and. Knowing that our code enforcement officer has to do these, I did review this with him last week and. I think last year we did about 95 of these, Stan.
Yeah.
The majority of which were either multifamily or commercial, not residential. And the time that they take does create a burden on the office, and therefore we think that it is appropriate at this point in time to increase this fee for that time that it does take. And these fees are in line with what some of the other municipalities are charging at the present time. So the recommendation is to set these fees as Dan is providing in the recommendation.
So just to confirm the dollar amount.
175 for residential and 225 for multifamily and commercial.
Okay, with that, can I have a motion to amend the municipal search fees to $175 for commercial and
For residential.
residential, I'm sorry, and $225 for commercial
And multifamily.
and multifamily.
and these fees to take effect April 1st.
And we're not.
And I want them to make a motion to discuss afterwards.
So you make a motion second, and then we'll open to discussion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Discussion?
Effective April 1st. We just gotta
Yeah,
say that.
that's true, thank you, yeah, with the caveat of April 1st effective date.
What are the other villages charging for this? Because
So the town of Woolsing is $150. The town of Mamakating is $150, but for commercial and residential, I'm sorry, commercial and multifamily is $325.
Right, I see these
What about
comparisons, okay, but other villages of our size,
Generally, they are between 100 and 150. However, Orange County, the average price in Orange County, which I didn't really go by, is over $200 for a municipal search.
or the residential or the multifamily?
The average price of all municipalities in Orange County is about $200. I didn't make I didn't specify what they were.
Got it.
Any Sullivan County,
I'm sorry?
any Sullivan County?
The Village of Liberty, I know, is at $150.
Right.
These are typically costs that are paid as part of your closing costs done in your title report. You don't pay these directly. You do pay them, but they come as part of a closing and a transaction. So it's not as something you walk in, to the village hall to pay, part of your sale.
So is this just this is the overall fee, or is this the building department portion? Cause are there other like water and sewer and?
We don't charge a fee for water and sewer, but we do charge for tax, $10.
And that's separate. It just seemed a little high compared to other areas where you like things like municipal needs, water, sewer, and general. Like all inclusive was actually less than this, but you guys know better than I, because I just sort of stepped into that.
So residential is 175, commercial and multifamily is 225. And predominantly, we've seen other municipalities at approximately 150 for residential, but potentially higher for commercial.
Right.
Do we want to split the difference and maybe shift it 150 for residential and maybe more burdensome for our commercial investors? Maybe make it 3?
Yes.
For commercial and multifamily?
Sure. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna try it one more time.
Sure.
150 and what?
150 for residential and 300 for commercial. Multifamily.
50 residential, 300 for commercial multifamily.
So I have a motion on the table that specified the explicit fees. Can I modify that motion?
You can amend the motion or you
don't
can
amend or rescind.
Okay,
rescind and restart.
I'll amend the motion, so that the municipal search fee is $150 and the commercial and multifamily fee is $300. To go into effect on April 1st. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
That needs to be a second, right? Second.
Did we
Yeah,
just
there needs to be a second on the amendment.
need a second for the amendment?
Second for the amendment, second for the amendment, and then you can,
Okay.
I think Ian's on.
he's on, he just said it, second. For the
Okay,
amendment.
thank you, Liam.
Thank you, Ian.
You're welcome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
With the deputy mayor accepted. Thank you.
How much was it originally?
$100.
All across.
Thank you.
For the last 5 years, so
Okay. Clinton Avenue Bridge Watch, in your agenda package, you saw an update from, the engineer and separately, property company. They did clarify something a little further this morning, because he does mention, I'll get clarity from it, but effectively reiterate what he says in the email. All of one property is agreeable to the terms that have been presented to them to acquire these small slivers of land required to go forward with the project. The one is listed on map 1 and 2. I continue no contact. There was further communication today that I'm going to be in touch with the village manager about. See if we cannot walk that back from using and doing, which we not something we want to do against any of our property owners, nor drag out a process that's unnecessary, but you know, we may have to use it if they're non-compliant. So that kind of gets us to where we are, and hopefully we can find some resolution to that sooner than later.
right.
Yep.
Did you say that they just haven't been in contact? You can't reach them?
They have stopped communicating. Other than that, I don't want to say anything more. Okay. Good. We can leave it as we stated it, because it'll become 2 different class types. Okay, so with that, resolutions, I can have a motion authorizing the village manager to sign the lease agreement between Village of Ellenville, Melissa Gorman, Berger, and Sarah Cameron for the rental of 14 pay for $2,000 month, with the lease expiring December 31st, 2027.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion authorizing payments of Russell and Judas in the amount of $2,057.02 for is it estimate or an invoice? Invoice.
It's the estimate, it's the estimate.
No, but it's, I think it's invoice,
It's an invoice.
42 and 143.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
invoice. So an invoice for 42 Clinton Avenue over the North Kelly Bridge rehab, and then a second, all in favor? Or Jesus, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around.
Motion.
That motion, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
One day I'll get better at this. Aye.
You got enough time.
If I can have a motion authorizing payment for Barton and Judas in the amount of $2,003.97 for the other invoice number 43 for the Clinton Avenue Bridge project.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion authorizing the mayor to sign the community development block grant agreement.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion motion authorizing payment to Whitcon Incorporated in the amount of $3,538.92 for an emergency call out on the water main break on the recommendation of the water department foreman.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion authorizing, I think this should be, I think we might want to reach out to them,
Okay.
but I think going forward, we need to start the ship. The village manager is signing. Motion authorizing the mayor to sign the engagement letter with urgency for preparation of the AFR 2022.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And just for clarity, these OCS I'm sorry, OSC accepted the AFR for 2023 today, so effectively it's closed out. So we'll move on to the next one.
Right.
Okay, with that board report, trustee Mr. I think this.
Mayor, there was actually two resolutions.
Oh,
I
hold
need.
on, Ian, hold on, we can't hear you. Say that again?
There were two other resolutions I need.
Uh,
I don't have them.
They're not in the agenda, but we had that meeting with the Neville, so I need,
yeah, Ian, we don't have anything in front of us, so I'm gonna say, let's hold off. And we can have a special meeting if we need to this week, just so there's a little more time for discussion, if that's all right.
that's fine. I just wanted to make sure you were still aware of it.
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Ian. Okay, so.
The snow's melted and there's a lot of trash on the ground as expected at this time of year. John Glagola, who was here earlier, was the person who headed up the Earth Day cleanup last year. I'm not sure who might be wanting to take charge of that, but it's something that we should all start thinking about soon. And then in that regard, as the snow melts and probably hurt some of these fences, there's a lot of, and we've been so concerned about grass cutting and like maintaining a good level of grass. But there's a lot of torn down fences everywhere, specifically in the village, the parking lot that we we rent on Canal Street across from Gabby's. There's broken fence everywhere. There's a lot of chain link fences that are no longer fences, but are being pulled in multiple ways. And I'm just hoping that the building department can help in the same way that the Earth Day cleanup will, to make it nice and safe and clean.
And just to quickly just piggyback on that specific thought, manager, if you could work with the building department on Warren Street specifically, the pile of trash right on the corner of Fifth and Warren that appeared may have been buried in snow.
Yes.
I almost certain it is not the property owner, that was probably just abandoned there. But there's also a number of other issues up and down that streets, a lot of trash cans being left out beyond collection day and overflowing. So we're not sure what's going on, but we'll try to get that street cleaned up. That'd be amazing.
Of course.
And Evan, the house that you're talking about has been continuously doing that, you know, ongoing, the one where they put 5 or 6 out.
Yeah.
And then they put things that are supposed to be picked up, I mean, mattresses and whatever. And they just never seem to get them off, and it's continuous, it's something been going on for a long time.
Yeah, this is on the corner of Ann and Warren, right? I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, there's that one, and there's one right next to me, right where I'm at 46, and then the Ray and
Yes.
Omar, but that one, they have 5 of them there.
Yeah.
And they constantly, I'm surprised that, I don't know if they moved them for plowing, because I was totally shocked, but. And it's just continuously there, they never move them, once they're out there for the next week to pick up.
No, and you know, obviously the snow has melted, so things are a lot more noticeable now. So I'm sure everybody will work together to try to rectify.
Yeah, but the Ann Street one is definitely.
Yeah, but there's 3, so at the corner of Market and Warren is the giant pile of trash that was under the snow mound.
Yes.
And then in the middle of Warren, for 40 something or other, you'll have the garbage cans that are overflowing to the street. And then at the corner of Ann and Warren, I do believe that a family just moved out and one moved in. And correct, okay.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a lot of the move out is still left and very visible.
Right.
When are you in again? Yeah, tomorrow. Take care of this.
All right, thank you so much.
I know there's been a couple of those we've been on. Okay. I'll get with you and Dan on it. Thank you.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Younger?
Yeah, I just have a couple of things. Earlier today, the board met with Paul.
Yeah.
Yes, and he was instrumental in assisting the village. You may not be aware, assisting the village to receive a grant for housing, $200,000. And you know, so it was very interesting what he, you know, brought to the discussion, and hopefully we can move forward in, you know, securing some housing, you know, housing is an issue all over the county, you know, and in particular here, you know, in various villages, towns, so it was good to hear that we received, you know, that much amount of award. And hopefully we can move forward and put things in place where, you know, we can make something happen, you know, for the village. And then also I have a question for Michelle. Michelle, what are the hours that garbage removal companies can come into the village?
I'll have to look at the code. I believe it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I
There
think
is
at
like
one
a
time
noise,
it was
yeah.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I know years back, we had issue with them coming through like, you know,
5, 3,
5 o'clock,
3 o'clock,
4:30,
yeah.
and I think that's happening again.
Was that on board then?
I'm sorry.
It's not right in your
It may have
area,
been-
in your neighborhood?
It may have been, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say county waste is definitely
Yeah,
coming
we-
through at least five AM. if not
Yeah,
more.
You want us to send them a letter?
Well, I would, because I mean, it's very disturbing.
Is it defined in village code?
I'll look at the code, I'll send them the code.
If it is, then
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, I would
let's-
say
let's-
send that because in in our contracts to us, they specifically say like trash pickup before 5:30 AM. Like they make us have it out there.
Okay,
So if we were to say village code
Yeah.
says you can't come till 6, they'll say you missed.
yeah, I'm not, that's just around
Yeah,
about, but I'll
because-
definitely look and I'll send them the code.
Okay,
Thank
I
you so much.
remember it is in the code where
Thank you.
they shouldn't show up, you know, earlier than 6 o'clock, so.
How many different haulers do we have in the village typically?
Right now we have.
3,
How many do we have licensed out?
3.
3,
Okay,
yeah.
anybody see anybody else? I mean, that's always a risk. Anybody familiar?
The only one I haven't heard a response from is the Sullivan County Waste.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't know if they're around anymore, or still in business. I know they're the purple trucks, I haven't.
I'm wondering where your thought process is going, and I'm curious to see if it might be something along the lines of what the village of New Paltz does, which is have a single provider bid out and
Okay.
reduce.
It was more along the lines of what the village of Fishkill does.
Okay, yeah,
We actually provided it there in the
Sure.
village of Fishkill, but we contracted with a single hauler. But
Yep.
It would be one way to control the waste pickup and make sure that everyone's garbage gets picked up and that the village doesn't look the way it does at times, but it's something that.
yeah, so what I would say, and I think this was a conversation again, sort of previously about year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, there was a discussion about it, there was, I would say, a fair amount of community feedback saying, I like who I like. and-
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think it would be interesting to explore to understand what the rates could potentially look like for a villager, because if there's enough incentive, right, if there's enough cost reduction, that might motivate people to change their mind about a single source provider.
Sure.
We never got that far, so.
And if it's a direct item on the bill, then they know it's not marked up.
Yep,
Joe, I'm gonna put you on the spot, or John, we still have flow control in Ulster County, right? So, yeah, so I mean, Sullivan can't be hauling it unless they're gonna drive it all the way up to town of Ulster, and I don't think they're doing that, so we know they're not doing that, so. But it'd be worth looking at, I mean, we definitely can make an inquiry just to see. Economy of scale, buy it and take it out of your own volume, so. Okay.
That's all I have.
On March 18th, the PTO is having their monthly meeting at 6 PM in the Elementary Library. And we will be featuring a visit from the Rural Health Network, Partners for Prevention. So these are the individuals who are offering that education and training on Narcan. We're really trying to engage both parents and teachers alike on like looking for signs, changed behaviors. So that's 6 PM, Elementary Library. This summer, yours truly will be engaging in mental health first aid training out of Trudy Barber. So it's important to note that mental health first aid exists as a training for adults and as for youth. So I am certified to do both, so the outreach would be like, this is youth-based and this is mental health based. And there will be more flyers going out for that. And last but not least, I will be reaching out to Coffee to create a village volunteer task force. So the idea behind this is a steal from the gentleman at the Repair Cafe. just a way for certain nonprofit partners to house a list of skilled individuals, right? So for me, my only skill is mental health support. But we can have an individual who's skilled at plumbing and general repair, and we have a vulnerable community member who really needs a very light service. And we don't want to have them source out to someone that's going to travel and charge them an obnoxious fee. So between myself, Coffee, and the Institute for Family Health, we would like to really create this village-wide volunteer task force so that we're really doing some insular care for our more vulnerable community members. That's my upcoming project. I think.
You guys need to please include me.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, another part of that is targeting vested community partners who would either be resource gatherers or resource sharers.
Joe?
Teacher, could you possibly take your great idea a step further and maybe have some type of light demonstrations across the street if it's appropriate?
Did you say fight demonstration?
Light,
Right.
not fight, although you could, that could be a demonstration.
I said absolutely, and then so light demonstrations, like.
Whatever skills people can teach and pass on to other people.
Oh, yeah, like just sharing, so infinitely, I did forget, Janet Nunez is doing an happy hour at Trudy Farber. So she is targeting seniors and other vulnerable adults who struggle with smart devices. So she sent out a need for volunteers. So actually, based on the success of that, we will do that in other scopes as well. And I mean, I really wish John had stayed because this really comes from that repair cafe idea of us taking care of each other. We're just trying to expand the scope a little bit. So absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome.
When is the happy hour?
So happy hour is going to be next year, April 1st or 2nd. I think it's April 2nd. Don't do this to me. The dates always confuse me. I believe it's April 2nd at 6 p.m.
At the Trudy
April
Farber.
2nd, 10 a.m. to 2.
Mhm.
10 to 2.
On which day?
Thursday, April 2nd.
I got the date right. So April 2nd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And any smart device. So this is not just phones, like we're encouraging people to bring tablets as well. Another reason I wholly support this is because of the rise of telehealth services. So we really want to be able to access some of our more rural, vulnerable community members. So we're hoping she has a great turnout. I know my husband volunteered. That's his jam, cell phones. So please spread the word. And that's all I got.
Great. I think everybody summed up a lot of great things that are going on, so I have nothing else to add. With that, if I can have a motion to.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Which one?